If you're still writing your own content from scratch, or you're kind of getting AI to write it and then you're tweaking it for tone each time, you're costing yourself probably hours every week. If you just take a couple of hours now to create this brand voice GPT, you're going to have a tool that anyone on your team can use, whether it's for like a social post, web page, a brochure, could even be an internal email. It's a great time saver, and it means that your content is going to be strong. It's going to have that consistent tone of voice, whoever's writing it. Just a quick note before we dive in, make sure you got some basic safety stuff in place. So whichever LLM, whichever AI you're going to use, just check on the privacy settings. You should be using a paid account and have it set so that it's not being tracked on your data. Train your team, especially on what not to enter, and ideally have an AI policy. Now, I've created a separate resource. It's called 5 Ways to Get Started with AI in Care. Covers all of that, and it's linked below. All right, let's get stuck in. For a start, let's go to gpt.com. I'm logged in here. Go over to GPTs on the left, and then create, top right. Now here you'll see it's split into two halves. On the left-hand side, this is basically the kind of back end. And this is basically where you'll tell your GPT what to do. And then over on the right, that's the front. That's what you and your team will see when you actually start working with it. So you can either choose create, where you'll kind of use that conversational approach, talking back and forth with it to come up with your tool. But because I want to be really specific and just basically give you all the tools you need, then we're going to use configure over here on the right. All right, so let's name it. Let's give it some, nice clear name. I'm going to call it, I've kind of created this, like, always important to get a nice, there's one later, yeah. Okay. Now, all the kind of descriptions and that kind of thing, I'm going to give to you in a separate document, just to kind of that you can then adapt. So this GPT creates social media posts, blogs, and brochures for Sunnyside Care Home. It should always reflect our tone of voice, ethos, and values. Next, we've got instructions. In here, we're going to give it all the sort of background it needs. So here's what I created earlier, basically, that you can take and adapt. Now, this is super generic, but it just gives background about the business, the organization, what's our goals with all our content, what kind of calls to action do we use, tone of voice, some like specific language. So things like, rather than industry leading care, we want to say every resident is treated like family. So just some obvious things really around, we don't say staff, we say team, that kind of thing. These are the emojis that Sunnyside Care Home uses. So again, this document will be in the resources for you to download, and this just gives you a starting point that you can then adapt. So hopefully you've already got like a really strong tone of voice as an organization. You've already got that stuff clear, and it would just be a case of pasting it all in here. Conversation starters, we'll come back to that in a minute. And then knowledge. So here we want to give it like loads and loads of, like, such an important thing is to give the AI a good example so it knows what to follow. So I would say aim for, at least 10, preferably more like 20, and give it examples of whatever you're then going to want it to create. So it could be, blog posts, social media posts, whatever you need to give it a good indication of the type of content it should be producing. All right, so let's just drop right in. Again, I'll give you an example file, but this one will only have just like a couple of examples you're going to need. At least 5 examples of each medium, I would say. All right, so it's got its custom knowledge base here. It's example content, and it's got its instructions. So that's most of the job done. These conversation starters, this just really, especially if you're using this with a team, it just gives them some clear directions on kind of how to use it almost. So let's give an example here. Check that voice. And as you can see, you can add in as many of those as you like. Here, when it comes to just these tick box, or another one I find super helpful actually is draft a social post based on these bullet points. I just find it like if I have a thought that comes to my head about a social post, just quickly bang into this little tool, just immediate thoughts and go to create it. It just means that you don't have those thoughts, and then by the time you come to create it, you've forgotten. It just means you can come right hot, bang it in there, and then you've got something which is pretty much ready to use, or you can come back to later. Okay. Just in terms of these capabilities, I would just switch these off for now. Like Canvas, that's like a whiteboard function. Image generation, obviously it could be great for social, but I just want a text tool. That's all I'm creating right now. And then down here, additional settings, I would just say no. Don't train it on my data. It's best to be on the safe side when you're working in Curve. Okay. So before we publish, let's give it a test. So let me just paste it. Today we made pancakes. It was great fun. Client name, because I'm going to add that later rather than put it into the GPT. Won the best Flipper award. Maybe not surprising as he used to be a chef. Okay, so let's see what it does with course document. Here. Let's post to background voice. Today was all about pancakes and plenty of flipping, laughter, and a bit of friendly competition. Jeff, let's say, scooped the best flipper award. Not too surprising when you found out he used to be a chef. Okay, so that's not. Okay, so that's not like wildly exciting content, but you can see that it's done something. It's just got a nice tone. That's mainly because I haven't actually put in the example posts. But let's just give it, please add a call to action about coming along to our open day this Friday at 10 to see what else we've been cooking up, just to give it a little bit of something else. Okay, so great. So let's just add it back in. It's in your voice. Of course, you can just give it a little tweak, but it's looking good, isn't it? Great. So next step to finish this off. So then all we do is click create. And we're going to make it so that basically anyone in the team can use this. Now, the great thing is here, they don't need a paid account. As long as you've got your paid account, you can give them the link, and as many people as in your team, they'll all be able to use this tool. Ta-da! And so there you have it. Like instantly, everyone in your team's got this tool. There's no more like starting from scratch from there. There's no more consult from head office. Just give this a tweak. If you've got like just a home for everyone's got a writing assistant they can use anytime that works for your brand. So that's it for today. Make sure you get all the resources that I mentioned using the links below. That includes the 5 ways to start using AI in social care, all super practical. This is obviously one of them, but there's 4 more. And they're all just really good, great ways to make the most of it and to save yourself some time. If this was helpful, give it a like and subscribe to stay in the loop with AI and social care. I'm David Mant. See you next time.